Hey, hey, hey. Just making a few more notes. Are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you. I kind of had to do the next day hair thing where I just stuck the little thing in it and threw in some curls. Um, I do think it's definitely like, Signy, you just get more body when it's shorter. I love the color though. Knock on wood, I shouldn't say this out loud. I'm not going to say it since I don't COLOR it. I don't want to have to. So, hey, hey, hey. Were you wanting to come up again, Maton? You feel like doing this again? We had fun last Saturday. Hello, hello, everybody. I got on a few minutes early to give everybody time to get in the room, finally. Finally. Only took 3 Saturdays for me to remember that we're doing this. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know, Matan, if you do want to come up during the live. Matan was one of the first people to sign up for my classes. He said 7 years ago, and I'm going to believe him because time is so fucked up for me. Messed up for me. Trying not to cuss as much. I'm always trying not to cuss as much. Just giving myself those hearts, get this out there in the algorithm. Go ahead and get those free hearts going. We're going to get started about a little bit after 12. We're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about psychic ability. We're going to talk about why it matters. We're going to talk about being discerning. We're going to talk about why you absolutely can follow Jesus and be into energy. That was a new one from the born-again Christian lady in Australia. She wants people to think that you cannot love Jesus and understand energy, and that is just so far from reality. It's just not true. Literally, the whole point of Jesus is for you to love yourself, get to know yourself, and get to know the world around you while not being necessarily a part of it. All right, all the hearts. Hey, Karen. Corinne. It's Corinne, right? I want to say Karen, but I think it's Corinne, if I'm remembering right. You guys, I knew her dad way back in the day, like when I was younger. Okay, Corinne. My mom and her dad, I don't know if you ever knew this, Corinne, but your dad and I dated for like a minute. Yeah, like 5 minutes. We went on a couple of dates, three dates, I think, back when I was too young to be dating your dad. Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, so she is originally from the central coast of California as well. Yeah. Funny shit, right? All right, everybody. So it is 11:57. We'll get started in about 3 minutes. We're talking about being psychic, what it means, how to kind of get to know what it means so that you're not fooled by a lot of these con artists that are on TikTok and other social media outlets, even in person at psychic fairs. There's a lot of things that psychics or seers or mediums, they claim that they can do. There's a lot of things that's not responsible. I don't like the term ethical because everyone always wants to take the term ethical and they want to like one up each other. You know what I mean? They're consistently wanting to like, I'm more ethical than you are, and I don't do this, so I'm more ethical. I like to say the word responsible because oh, my bad. There we go. I like to use the word responsible versus ethical because I think ethical is more of a one-upsmanship word, right? I'm better than you because I don't do this. So I like to use the word responsible. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Saturday.
Look at your curls intact today. Wait, I
I
have curls on
know.
too today. Let me put my camera on too.
I actually did this
I did
so
my curls
fast.
today too.
Ooh. I know, but your hair is like natural. Your hair is so pretty.
Yeah, I think it
I
is.
love it. Are you going to go long again or are you just playing with it?
No, I've just been lazy and I haven't gotten a haircut. God, I look so I look like man boobs in this shirt. Hold on. Let me pull these back up.
Would you? Listen,
Also,
listen.
people, don't forget to order the new decks.
Oh, yes. So the new decks are out.
I'm so
How do I
excited. You
not
have
have?
no idea.
Yes. So this is the biker themed tarot deck. And oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't think I have the brand new. Oh, here it is right here. And the Old West, Arcana of the Old West tarot deck. So they are available now. I did not get my appointments open just yet. I was doing that last night and I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, fabulous.
As I'm a nerd. So anyways, the decks are here. So excited about that. I am still using this deck because I want to see how it holds up. So this was the prototype before that prototype. And then this was the prototype before this prototype. So a lot of people like to act like if you do use AI assisted that like somehow AI just woke up one day and, you know, shit some tarot decks out of its butt. And that's just not the way it works. So I do like to tell people that because Gen Z is offended by AI. So a lot of people are not, but some people are. So anyways, and I want to make sure it's holding up. Look, so this is my working deck that I've been working with for months, and it's holding up very well. It's holding up incredibly well. Even the gilding on the sides, and I've been riffle shuffling. Oh, yes, Signy, and they're going out so soon.
Okay.
Definitely, Lana, definitely. And make sure that you come to me personally because I want to give you a deal, Lana. Okay?
And she's giving a deal, I will say, for students. Yeah, I was shocked. I thought those were too low.
You think it's too low? Definitely, you can give me more money.
Yeah, I would have said 50 for one, or at least 50 for one, and probably 70 for the pair.
Okay. All right. I'll keep
I was kind of shocked. I almost was gonna I probably will send you more money when I get paid tomorrow.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so we're at 12:01. We have some people in the room. Last Saturday, and those two are up on YouTube. Link is in bio. I want to be really clear about like what I'm teaching and what I'm not teaching. So I am not teaching anyone to talk to demons. I am not teaching anyone. I know, right? Well, Australia's over there saying you can't do this and talk to Jesus, and that just could not be further from the truth. All of these things that we do right now are inherent to being human. They were happening before the Bible was, well, they were happening when the Bible was written. They were happening after the Bible was written. They were happening before Rome weaponized the Bible. They have been happening to humans since humans have existed because it's literally just a part of how we're made. The same way that animals know when a storm is coming, cows will bunch up and they will walk in, they will circle up. Cattle will, buffalo will walk into the storm. Geese migrate east or south or somewhere for the winter. Those are inherent things that animals know. We are animals. We are mammals. So our ability to see, hear, taste, know, feel, whatever, those are just inherent to being human. I am not more special than you because I can do this. I'm not worse than you because I can do this. Some people are better at some of the aspects than others. Like, for example, last week, I was saying sometimes if I'm talking to energy, I can't always tell if they're passed away or here. And Maton says, oh, I'm pretty good at that, actually. So he can be better at something than me, and I can be better at something than him. It doesn't make either one of us less than. Okay. So I just want to be really, really clear that Jesus is more about the way. Jesus is about following, being kind to one another, being a good person. I mean, legitimately, it's about it's about the Ten Commandments. It's about being a good person. It's about having some boundaries. It's about having, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to clear that up. There are no demons here today. There is no Satan here today. You will not catch any bad vibes from us. So last week, or the first week, we talked about our senses. We talked about what are our senses. We put the fancy words around them like the clairaudience and the clairvoyant. Honestly, if you just start thinking of them in a more simple way, I feel, I taste, I see, I know, it's just easier to get by. It is for me anyways. We talked about you starting a journal. I yet again have yet another fucking journal. I have so many journals all over the house, all half done. That's the ADHD though. That doesn't have much to do with, oh, thank you for the share, Savannah. Yeah, if you guys don't mind sharing it out, that would be amazing. I appreciate that so much. So we talked about everyday psychic experiences on the first Saturday. Like when you're thinking about somebody before they call, when you walk into the room or you wake up, seconds before your alarm goes off, or you walk into the room and you know who's arguing and you know who's sad and you know who's happy and you know who's sleeping together. And then we talked a little bit about the difference between psychic and mediumship, and we're going to go a little more into that today. And then I want somebody to be ready to come up and sit in one of our energies. So we're going to allow our energy. We're going to purposely allow you to sit in our energy. Does that make sense? Because we talked about being open, and we talked about being closed as well. You can't walk around open every day, and so you should have. So I'm a little bit different than a lot of people. You should have the permit. If I'm going to sit in Maton's energy, then that includes everyone that's in his life, okay? So, for example, he has a husband. You have a husband, or is he a boyfriend or a husband?
We're loading toward husband. You can say husband. We've been together for so long. I just say husband.
So he has a husband. So if I'm doing an energy reading for Matan, I am going to take the entire situation, which is going to include his husband, and I'm going to tap into the entire situation. Otherwise, I'm getting one-sided energy answers, and Maton may think he's right. And so if I'm only touching into, and I really don't think if you're good that you cannot do this, but that's a whole different conversation probably. But let's say that Maton is just absolutely sure he's right, and he's coming to me for validation, and he absolutely wants me to tell him what he already thinks. I tap into the entire situation. I'm like, ooh, looks like you went off the rails a little bit. And what if you're wrong? And he's like, oh, but I wouldn't know that if I'm only sitting in Maton's energy. I need to be sitting in the situation, in the energy of the situation. So what I will do as a reader, what I do as a reader is I will look at the entire situation. So if you're a mother asking about a child, that's your business, in my opinion, unless she's like moved out and you haven't seen her in a long time. If you're a wife asking about a husband asking about a husband, if you're asking about your animals, of course, all the animals are going to come in. I don't like to do an animal reading without including all the animals in the house. I mean, how rude. So if you have 5 dogs, we're going to talk to 5 dogs because I don't want one of the, all right, 5.5. Where's Alice? I don't want any of the animals to feel left out. Like that's how silly I am, or however you want to call it. All right. So that is an argument that you will see in this space. A lot of people will try to call that a third-party reading. That is not my opinion of it. You get to make up your own opinion of it, and then you get to stand behind it, and you get to argue your own opinion. This is my opinion. This is how I do it. This is how I teach it. If it's not something you're comfortable with, then definitely don't watch my shit. Okay. Any comments there, Maton? Oh, I needed to make a coffee. I just have water.
I agree with you, and I also think that as a sitter, if you're going to pay money, especially, excuse me, if you're going to pay and invest in a reading, I personally want everything, right? So why would I would be kind of jiffed if I ask you about a situation and I feel like I'm only getting halfway there.
Yeah. If you're only getting your opinion given back to you.
Right. If I just want a reflecting wall, I'll go see a therapist.
Right. Oh, don't get me
Because
started.
a reader has, well, I think a reader, this is why I think therapy and reading is important and separate. That's a whole other conversation we can have too. But I do think that something that a reader can do that a therapist can't do is they can give you a full rounder picture, because that's what the idea in my head of what are you coming for me? Well, you're coming for comfort in a space of honesty and vulnerability, but you're also coming to get a full picture of the playing board. Where in therapy, it's more about the reflective nature of working together with the client, right? There's a different dynamic there. And
Yeah.
I think that you're getting gypped if you're going to get only half of what you pay for in a reading.
Here's the other thing is that the way I teach it and the way I do it is if you need to be called out, getting a reading from me is gonna I will say it with love. But sometimes when the cards indicate that you're the problem, I will let you know that you're the problem. You may be stuck in your head. So for example, let's give an example real fast. I do a lot of love readings where people say, is so-and-so cheating? There's a lot of people that will not do those readings, and I don't understand why, because I think you're looking to validate your fear, because we're all using our intuition through past traumas. We're all using intuition through our fear, right? We get fearful that the same thing that happened last time may happen again. And so you come to someone like me and you're like, is so-and-so cheating? Well, I have done, and then there's other people that'll go, oh, well, if you have to ask, you already know. That isn't true. That isn't true, because our fear will take over our common sense. And so I've had plenty of people where I've said, it actually does not appear that that's happening right now, but this card, let me think of a card, Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords maybe says that you're literally stuck in your head, and that's all you can think about because that's what you fear the most. So what do you think is going to happen if you're constantly thinking about what you fear the most? It's going to come out in your energy, and you're actually kind of manifest it, right? And that's not what you want to do. Now, if I had gotten the Seven of Swords instead of the Eight of Swords, you may be dealing with another cheating situation. And so there have been times when the energy says opposite of what the fear is. Now, there also have been times, and this is why we talk about due diligence, there also have been times when the reader does read the fear and they have been wrong. So the reader can always still be wrong. And you have to let yourself understand that even after you learn all of this, even after you get to know yourself in and out, even after you're like, oh my God, I would never do that, and then you find yourself doing that, we can always be wrong. And that's why due diligence, you should never go from a reader and then go accuse somebody of something, because there's more to go, right? There's more due diligence. So today, we're talking about that, but we're also want to talk about why would you want to journal? What would be the point of getting out a paper and a pen and going back to 1972 to write everything down like a little girl? Dear diary, today I went to the Saturday class on TikTok. Actually, that's kind of cute. I really like that. I think you should do that. Dear diary, Maton needs a new shirt. No, just kidding.
You saw it, whatever. I was like, you can't see all that stuff hanging out there.
Oh my gosh. So one of the reasons why you want to journal is because there is a tactile sensation between a pen and a paper that you cannot get by typing into a computer or just thinking about it or thinking that you're going to remember it. There is a tactile exchange of energy as well. That's why a lot of people who do psychic or mediumship, they will scribble or they will doodle, or a lot of people are very performative on this. I've seen people that, hold on, and you're just like sitting there going, please fucking stop. However, I will doodle. So I'll do triangles, I'll do squares, I'll do circles, I'll write lines, I'll write names, I'll write things down that the dog or the cat said or the horse. I love horses. So I will doodle, and that transfers the energy. So your brain is doing one thing while it's receiving information. So this is kind of similar to what I said about riding a motorcycle. When you ride a motorcycle, last night I was on a live and there was this gal whose mind was just going a million miles an hour. When you're riding a motorcycle, you're tactilely, I don't think that's a word. You are physically doing something and allowing your brain to slow down. So that's the idea behind journaling. That's the idea behind doodling. That's the idea behind knitting or sewing or asking your dreams questions.
I want to talk about also that you talk about the tactile aspect of it is important. It's also a way that gets you in a, I hate this term, meditative state, but it does help relax your neurofeedback in your muscles, that it relaxes your body to where it sets you up to kind of create a program of how you read. For example, I'll show you this. This is kind of crossed out, and I'll show a non-crossed out version of it. So I have my format that I've built through MaryAnna over the years, through her classes, which you should take. Right, where she said, find a way that works for you. So let's say I'm tapping in. I'll do one. I'll show you right now. Let's say I'm tapping in. So usually my format is I'll write the sitter's name. So let's say it's MaryAnna this time. Ignore my horrible handwriting. Then I'll write the person's relationship. If I'm doing direct, or if I don't know the person's name, I'm doing, what is the other term? I use your term.
Spirit-led.
Spirit-led, thank you. I'll just write a question mark there, right? But this is engaging, right? So let's say MaryAnna says her mom. I would write mom here. And this is how I create the tactile notes of what I'm getting stuff from spirit. And if I know that it's very much from spirit, I'll circle it. So let's say she comes through and she writes cupcakes. And I know that I get a confirmation in one of my other senses that we talked about last week, right? Because I like to listen to when one sense works, the other one validates it. So then I'll circle it. So that I know that that's a very important topic that I need to bring up. We also have what we call entrance points, and it's the same way when you pull cards. When I'm looking at cards, I have an entry point where I kind of see a story or an answer that I expect the spirit to deliver, or certain cards that I call grounding cards for myself. So like a grounding card could be like a major arcana card. A grounding thing for me when spirit comes through is they always tell me a month first. Things like that validate for myself that I'm on the right track. And you have to find those points when you read, because it keeps your own internal bias, and it keeps you from tapping into that fear that MaryAnna was talking about earlier. So you have to find those versions for yourself.
I love that. I love that.
And scribbling and writing is just one of those versions for a lot of people. But again, it can be performative.
Oh, it can. Yeah. That's, yes. So the other thing is that you will look, I know you think you won't, but like, for example, I didn't date this today. So it's Saturday, August 8th. So I'll write like August 8, 2026, because I'll go back in journals and I'll look and I'll be like, well, what fucking year was that? I don't even know. You will look back on your journals. You will get years into this and you'll be like, oh, you'll either have stopped doing it, right? You'll be like, I wonder what, blah, blah, blah. Or you're still doing it and you're like, I wonder where I started. And that's where your journal comes in. So journal, somebody on here said, I don't journal, but I write down words. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out Dear Diary thing. It can literally be Saturday, August 8th. We talked about energy. We talked about senses. It can be very short sentences that will trigger something in your brain. Now, the hard part about that, I do full sentences because I always think that something's going to trigger something in my brain, and then I go back, and if there's not a full sentence, I have no idea what I was thinking. So if you're like me, okay. So we talked about why journaling. We talked about also this is where you're putting your hits. This is where you're putting your psychic hits, and you want to reward yourself almost by writing it down and like, woohoo, right? A little celebration. Now, you're not going to sit there and, oh, I'm amazing, but you do need to feel good about what you're learning. You do need to feel good about being able to do this. And again, it's inherent to all of us, but once you figure out how you do it and you start putting hits in your journal, I want to say they're dopamine hits, but I don't want to narrow it down to that. I'm looking for a different. What am I looking for, Maton?
I mean, I hate to say it, but I would have said the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, confirmation hits. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, confirmation hits, little dopamine hits, and maybe it is just that simple. So even if it's just to yourself, so I have my little notes, right? So even if it's just to yourself, if you're not writing this shit down, you will talk yourself out of it. That's where I was going. So when I started this, when I first started this, and Maton can tell you, I would legitimately have conversations sometimes with the class, sometimes with myself, sometimes with Maton, sometimes on text, and I'm like, are we actually doing this? Because, well, by the time I was teaching, I was a little less, but I would still bring it up. And even sometimes now, I'm like, how is this real? Maybe that's what I'm saying. Because when I started it, I was constantly trying to undermine myself and talk myself out of it. And you will go through a period of that where you think this is the dumbest shit I've ever encountered. Or you'll think that there's just no way. So you'll end up in these self-limiting ideas, right? And I was incredibly hard on myself. And then you have to listen to the con artists and you look at them and you're like, but I'm not them. So I'm not like them and I'm not doing it like them. So are they wrong or am I wrong? Well, and then as you practice, as you learn discernment, as you go forward, you realize that they're con artists and that's why you don't look like them. And that's why you don't sound like them. Let's see. I was super hard on myself. I was incredibly hard on myself. I had to work very hard to learn to do what I do. I had to go looking for spirit. Again, these weird noises in the background. My dog is eating a rubber Kong ball. I'm not passing flatulence. So I was very hard on myself. And then you would listen to the skeptics and you will be like, well, am I cold reading? Is this what I'm doing? So then I would take the facial expressions out of the reading and I would do readings on social media or Zoom or Facebook, and I wouldn't be able to see the person's reactions and I would only get the yes, no's. And then I'm like, okay, so it's not cold reading. So, but these are the things that will come up for you. These are definitely the things that will come up for you. So you have to challenge yourself not seeing them when you read so that you know you're not cold reading. Now, when you very first start out, you don't need to do it that way. That would be a little bit too much. Then I would think that, oh, I'm leading this sitter. Like I went through like a couple of years where like I was really like skeptical of my own ability to do what I'm doing. So then I thought, well, I'm leading this sitter, but you really need to realize that psychic and mediumship, number one, they're not the same thing, and they shouldn't be treated the same way. So I would do mediumship, and I would be learning one thing, and then I would be over here doing psychic stuff, and I was trying to make my psychic stuff like my mediumship stuff. So what do I mean by that? There's some people that do it this way. When they read psychically, they just jump in and they just tell you a bunch of shit like, today you used a red cup for coffee, Maton, and you were missing Rick, whoever the fuck Rick is, right? So some people will do it that way. I don't. It's very co-creative when I do a psychic reading, which energy reading, whatever you'd like to call it. It's very co-creative, and I'm not just pulling shit out of the air. I'm asking you, what section are we going to? Are we going to love? Are we going to money? Are we going to your home life? Are we going to your parents, your children, etc.? And then you're asking questions, and then I'm asking if the information I'm giving you resonates, because there's so many different ways that it could be going. And then I'm asking if the information I'm giving you resonates, because there's so many different ways that it could be going. That's not what you do in mediumship, but we're not there yet. Okay. Any points, Maton?
No, the only thing that we do different.
We're not there yet. Okay. Any points, Maton?
No, the only thing that we do different to help relax the sitter, not so much go toward the poignance of like the purpose like you do, right? So if someone says, oh, I'm coming, and I'm like, would you like a general read? I'll pull cards, usually oracle cards now, rather than tarot, to kind of just get a relaxing feeling. But then from that, I'll then go, now that you understand kind of how this works, do you have a specific topic? And then they usually go into a specific topic. I do think I like your approach better. I will be honest. I'd rather someone come to me with a topic, but I've noticed it kind of pre-sets me up to like not make them so scared of me. I will be honest, I think that I have a much more forward energy than you do, and I think that helps them not feel so maybe intimidated by me. But that's the only reason why I do general, but a lot of people usually tend to do that on this app, and I shouldn't say it this way, but this is the term I'm going to say. I've seen it be used to become lazy. You cannot be complacent in the relationship when you do psychism with your sitter. And I think people are getting complacent with using
Oh,
generals rather than using it as like a, hey, welcome, this is how it kind of works versus like, hey, I'm going to do this because my ability to actually like sit down with a question is, I'm not developed enough for that. You know what I mean? That's why I have
yeah,
an issue with
yeah.
it.
I
But
think also kind of what you're skirting around too is that not everybody needs a reading. Learning to
yeah,
be psychic, learning to be intuitive. I should say instead of learning to be, learning to use
accept it.
what
Yeah.
you already have.
Yeah.
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 Now, I have done some generals in the past, and what I have done when I've done that, and you'll learn when we get into tarot a little more, is that you can do a 4-card spread, and you'll do like love, work, family, money, because those are the 4 big things that people always want to know about: love, work, family, money, right? So let's say I was just screwing around. I laid down 4 cards, and I said love. The person is the Queen of Cups. This is not necessarily you're not struggling with this right now. You're coming up as the Queen of Cups. You feel very loving. You feel very emotionally fulfilled. You feel very emotionally available to other people. I said love, money. Is that what I
Yeah.
said?
Love, money. Yeah. Love, money,
Money.
career.
So out of the 4 cards, this is part of where you're struggling the most would be money. This is the 5 of Pentacles. You can see that she's holding her money close to her chest. There is a lighted, this is kind of like the church. 5 of Pentacles is usually a church with a light on, right? However, this one has like a circus tent. This is a circus vibe from the Old West. She can go in there and she can be warm and have light and get help, but she is refusing to. So then we would go into, I would say definitely money is where you are struggling at the moment. Love, money, family, right? Is that what I said? Love, money.
Yeah. Love, money, family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Write them down.
I didn't,
Before
but
you,
I trust you to remember.
no. I'm saying for
No.
like others, make sure you write them
Oh.
down. So yeah. So family, I get the high priestess, right? So this is not going to be where this person is struggling. The high priestess knows what's going on. The high priestess is using her intuition, or it could be that you're not, but then you would know that based on the other cards. And I think the last one was love, money, family. We'll just say the last one is Jesus Christ, love, money.
We really didn't.
Love, money, family. I think it was health. So
Yeah.
if it comes up as health and you got the judgment card, I would say that you're definitely,
Oh,
was it work?
career.
Oh, it was work. It was career.
Work,
Thank
career,
you.
Thank you.
So you can do a 5-card spread and include health. All right. So definitely work is going to come up. I mean, this is obviously, I'm just pretending, right, guys? So, but work is going to come up as a place of it's not going well right now. So we have money and we have work, right? And those are the 2 places that you're not doing great. And your ability to love and your family are the places you are doing great. So that's probably where you're putting most of your energy, and maybe some of your energy needs to transfer into your work and your money situation. Then we would go from there. So I have done, he is right though. I don't like generals, because if you don't have someone you want to talk to in mediumship, don't get a mediumship reading. I think that is, now I just have very strong feelings on this. It's a waste of damn money. Don't show up, pay me $200, and then say, oh, whoever comes through. We're not doing that. You need to have a plan, because I want to feel like you got your money's worth, because that's my, I don't want to say shortcoming, but that's something that matters to me. I always want to feel like the energy exchange has been an actual energy exchange, instead of me feeling like you just gave me charity by handing me some money and I barely gave you a reading. So when people don't need a reading, don't come to me for sure. So, all right. Okay.
I want to talk about what you did without realizing you did it. And I have, okay, I'm not doing this to plug myself, but on my page, there's a video that I have about the kind of formatting of a reading. I have it in the guise of like mediumship, but it works for tarot too. I try to help my students, and MaryAnna did this too, she just didn't call it this, was to build a story within your readings.
Oh yeah. No, I had it. Yeah.
Here, you go to here. So for example, you just did it, right? You saw, explained the single card, but then she explained how the card A, B went to this, B went to C, okay, C went to this, validation, You create a story, and that's the other reason why I do like generals, because they help you create a story. That's the only thing I enjoy about them. But it's the same thing with readings or with mediumship, right? And using your intuition to help build the explanation or the story for the sitter to understand and view what they're, even when there's a question, you still are creating that format. And I think it's really important. And the way to learn that format and with the interaction with the sitter, the person getting the reading, is so important because it builds that momentum and it builds that understanding. And MaryAnna just does it naturally, but you have to, that's what practice, right? Practice makes perfect. Doing it sometimes, what's the saying? You fake it to make it. You're building your version of how to build that format. And that really will help your intuition also develop and show yourself when you're right. Because if you're getting those hits, like MaryAnna says all the time, it helps internally validate your intuition, your understanding is going towards something proper. So I think it's amazing we do that.
There's an actual section, and it'll be in the book if I ever get the frickin' thing done. There's an actual section in the mediumship that I have taught with Maton. I think I started it the first year I taught. See, I don't really teach beginning, middle, advanced, because once you know how to read, the only way to get to the middle and to the advanced is to get out there and do it. I think it is people are taking your money. I think people are taking your money. Once you know how to read, once you know what a hit is, once you know what evidence is, once you have done a few successful, even small reads, the way to get to the middle and the way to get to advanced is to do it. And that's what a lot of people like, no, I need another class. I was the same way. No, I need another class. No, I need another class. You don't need another class. You need to shut the fuck up, go find yourself some sitters and get some experience. Now, what he's talking about with the story is actually was part of my mediumship. I don't know if you guys can hear the dogs. They're cracking me up. Everybody's howling at the moment. They're distracting me. It's part of the mediumship curriculum is the story. So I've watched various, and I'll just call Jonathan Lewis out because he seems okay with a little shit talking, right? So he did a video on mediumship talking about spirit-led and that it can be lazy. And there's some truth to that. It can be very lazy. However, I have watched him, no, not in the house, dude. I have watched him read. Actually, gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. He's not, oh, you are wearing your diaper. Okay, his diaper's still on. I have a dog with a diaper. It's a whole thing. I have watched him read, and it's basically advanced laundry list mediumship. At least don't pick your teeth.
Oh, it's so yellow. These liquid lighting, it looks so yellow. I hate it. Go ahead. Sorry.
He does advanced laundry list mediumship where he does not tie anything back around. He does not tell a story from the ones I've seen. Okay, now he may do something different in private on Zoom or something I haven't seen. But from the ones that I have seen, he doesn't tie anything together. He gets resignation. Do you understand a yellow car? She says yes. Do you understand a forest in the bath moonlight at a ocean front? Yes. We just went from a yellow car to a moonlight memory. Like, where's the continuity? Where's the story? What the fuck does it matter? You have to consistently be thinking for your sitter, how is this going to matter to the sitter? Now, sometimes you're obviously going to get one-offs. I see a shared memory and maybe it doesn't go anywhere. You don't want to force it to go somewhere. But once something starts going somewhere, you want to follow it. And that's what I had taught in my mediumship. And I don't have any classes scheduled right now, but depending when this ends, if people are interested, I could put together a class. All right, so story is very important. Why would story be important in a psychic reading or in a mediumship reading or in an animal reading? When an animal chooses to tell you where they came from, like I was rescued, and they use the word, but I'm not sure that they necessarily totally understand the meaning of the word because they always treat it, when I see an animal that's been rescued, they always kind of treat it as like a present. Like this person showed up and it was amazing, and they don't necessarily know that the life they were, some do, I mean, depending on obviously the level of rescuability, right? But most of the time they present their human to me as a present, like that they unwrapped it or that they manifested this human or that they saw him from across the shelter and they noticed their eyes or their smile. Or so when an animal does that, the story is this person saved me. right? And so then we're going to go from there. And that's going to be kind of the underlying story foundation of this reading. Another thing that happens is that things trend. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, as we tend to do. All right. Okay, so we were talking about an energy reading, a psychic reading, especially with tarot cards, is very co-creative. So there was this gal one time, I was doing a psychic reading. It was just a freebie on here, and her name was Tina. And she said, I did a reading, and she said, oh my gosh, all that did come true. And then she said, I had a reading years ago, and he said, blah, 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 blah. Like she was going to move to the South. She was going to do an entrepreneur job. I don't remember the exact things that were going to happen. And she said, and it all came true. He was right. And I said, was he right? Or did you like what he said and you made sure that you co-created what you wanted to happen? And so that's why when someone says, oh, I got a psychic reading, and they act as if they can't change the energy, that is not true at all. If you hear something in a psychic reading that you don't like, change the energy, flip the script, plot twist your life, right? She ended up thinking that the psychic was completely right because she ended up doing these things. Well, these were things, thank you. These were things that she probably already wanted to do that he validated. She heard it from a neutral third party. She made it happen. She gave him the credit instead of giving the universe, God, Jesus, her the credit, right? It's a co-creative experience. So I wanted to get that out. So the psychic and energy reading skill, it really needs to resonate. So just because you're doing psychic, I'm not going to throw out Maton, I see a red handball and you need to go start exercising at a specific gym, and it doesn't resonate with him at all. And he's like, legitimately, if I ever play handball, I'd rather KL doubles hockey stick myself, right? So if it doesn't resonate at all, then you're not on maybe the right energy highway, right? That was another thing I used to call this energy highway. So if I bring up the Knight of Cups and he's like, I'm not the Knight of Cups, that doesn't resonate with me at all. I'd rather poke both my eyeballs out than to, forge through a river with a peace offering of love. If it doesn't resonate at all, reshuffle, restart, start over. You may just be on the wrong energy path. You may be reading somebody else in the comments. There's just a ton of, you could just be wrong. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you didn't drink enough water, right? So I just want to say that energy readings and psychic readings should also resonate. Now, once you get into evidential medium, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But a psychic reading he should still at least understand what the hell I'm talking about, right? Thank you, KK. They're available. All right. Sorry. So they need to resonate instead of being out in left field. So you need a baseline. So when you say something like, well, this may happen, you've already set the baseline. It's kind of like he was just talking about with his general reading. I kind of want to set a baseline. I kind of want to get a feel for this person before I dive into the hard questions. I kind of want to make sure we're on the same sheet of music, that we're resonating, that we're feeling each other, that the energy is talking to each other before I go into the harder questions. I usually skip that step because I'm a ball buster, but it's okay. You can obviously just do it both ways, but practice and see what works for you. What works for him may not work for me. What works for me may not work for him. And there is no shame in that game. It's not a competition. I tell people that on here all the time. We're not actually competing against other mediums and psychics. We are offering what is unique to us to a sitter, and people pick us because they resonate or they like our vibe or they like our personality. Okay. Mediumship is all about the evidence. No exceptions. Zero questions. Psychic, you're going to ask questions. Do you understand that? Do you understand this? Do you understand that? Well, tell me about this. Are you married? That's psychic. We're talking. We're co-creating. Mediumship, especially evidential mediumship, is all about the evidence. No exceptions. Zero questions. Now, you can say, would you understand? Or you have to say, would you understand? But that's mediumship. So right now we're still talking about energy. All right. Now, why is this important? Because evidential mediumship is evidential mediumship. Psychic reading is a psychic reading, and an animal communication is an animal communication. Now what happens when you turn into my ADHD ass? You mix them all up. And pretty soon, but you have to know the basics and the foundations before you mix them all up. When I do my readings, which they will be open, I'm going to get back on that as soon as I get off of here. When I do my readings, we're going to talk to your animals, depending on what you want to talk about. Well, first of all, it's your reading. You tell me. But we can talk to your animals, we can talk to your dead people, and we can ask the cards questions. Whatever we can fit into a 40-minute or a 60-minute reading, we're going to do. And I think I am going to put my 20-minute readings back. Well, I don't know. 20 minutes is really just long enough to annoy both of us. It's really like sometimes, like, you need to go deeper, but now you have a schedule. Now people have booked in. Now you can't just go from 20 to 40, right? So many times I've had people that want to save money, which I totally understand. Lowering my prices, by the way. I don't think you heard this last night, Maton, but I'm going to lower my prices just because everything is so expensive right now that it's insane. Anyway, I had this one gal, she was always trying to save money, and I totally understand, same way. But we would just get into it, and we would just get to the good questions, or we would just get to the actual reason that she's talking to me at the 20-minute mark. And now I have other people booked in, right? So I may not put those back up. 40 or 60 minutes, in my opinion. Some people go 2 hours. To me, I would be exhausted. Hey, Mayday, thank you so much. She's like, I've had a reading with MaryAnna, worth every penny. Thank you. All right, also in your journal, what are your goals? All right, so I've been really big on this from the get-go. Do you want to hang up a shingle? Do you want to be like Maton and I? Do you want to teach it someday? Do you want to write about it someday? Or are you just doing it because you want to get better at the place where you work and you want to be able to read people better? Or, she said, glad I'm opening back up. I'll be hearing from her soon. I love that. Thank you. Well, there's one person. So do you just want to get better? There was Moon Mystic started because she just kind of wanted to get better at work. She wanted to get better interacting with the people that she worked with. She wanted to get better at understanding how she felt around people, especially very outwardly people like me, probably extroverts. And she ended up doing it on TikTok. And now she's still doing it on TikTok. So she went in with one goal, and your goals are allowed to change, of course. Maton, when he first came into it, and correct me if I'm wrong, he wanted to know if he was crazy. He was like, I don't know what's happening, and I want to know where these people are coming from, why they're talking to me, and if I'm losing my bananas.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even want to do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's right.
Back to
When you were also testing me, remember?
I was. I thought she was a bat out of hell. I forgot about, I have to do a video on that. Hold on. Now I'm like you. I'm going to make a video about that. Let me take notes. Video on testing.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I didn't think you were a kook. I just thought it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
I just thought it was all bullshit. And I was like, I need to figure out, one, turn it off. I don't want to do this. I want to be able to go back to my normal life and just go to work, sleep, whatever. And then as I was like, okay, we'll see. And then as I started seeing the way the mechanics of it works, because there are mechanics involved, whether people want to admit that or not, people on this app, I was born gifted. Fuck off. Okay, there's mechanics to it. I don't care what you say. So then after I figured out the mechanics of it, I was like, oh, now let me use these mechanics and test her. To the point that I sat for her for a reading to test her.
I remember that. It was your boyfriend that passed away.
Yeah.
The husband. It was your husband that passed.
Yeah.
Boyfriend, husband?
Something in the middle. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to go do this because I want to really see, because in our classes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can understand how people are getting things, whatever. I was like, but I want to see how hate to say it, but I was like, I want to see the teacher basically, what is the word, like,
exhibit. That's a really good point. If you are going to someone and you have not seen them work, how are they going to teach you shit? And so, Morgan, yes, if we get enough people interested out of these free Saturdays that want to start a new class, I absolutely. I'm also thinking about just doing something where I watch you and then critique you personally, just one-on-one. So yes, definitely, Morgan, let's talk. Um, there's a lot of people on here who say that they teach and you've never even seen them read. So
Correct.
one that comes to mind is, well, I don't want to do that because it might not age well. Some people come back and they're just, well, some people come back and they're assholes about it. But
Yeah.
definitely, Christy, a demonstration of mediumship, right? So there's a couple of misfits. Let's put it that way. There's a couple of misfits that the male doesn't even read on lives, but he's constantly asking you to come to his classes. I want to see you read. You can go to my YouTube, you can go to my TikTok channel, and I have posted readings going back like 5 years. There's another guy on here. He looks like a Lego man, and he's consistently shit talking other people. I've never seen him read once on a live, never once.
Okay.
So Morgan said, I used your advice last week on reading energy and got a few hits. Yes, ma'am. And then you journaled them. You better have journaled them, right? I love that. And on that note, so on your journal goals, or on your goals, excuse me, do you just want to understand yourself better? Do you just want to understand energy better? Do you want to tie this into religion or Jesus? Do you want to tie this into Reiki or yoga or something like that? Like, what is your goal? Do you want to hang a shingle, or do you just want to be discerning towards others in this business? So we've been on here for 45 minutes, and what I want to do, is there anyone who wants to come up and sit in? Well, first, let me take you through a really tiny, tiny micro meditation. So if everybody will just kind of get comfy, and really energy is going to let you know if you are the person to ask to come up, right? Your spirit guides, whoever it is that you interact with on a regular basis when you're quiet and when you're meditating will let you know if you're ready to come up and try this. But I want you to relax. I almost want you to melt, okay? I almost want you to picture your energy as a very fondue, like a fondue that's circling around you, that's continually going up and coming down and going up and coming down. It's very much can be a warm feeling. I personally just got full chills. It can be a comforting feeling. It can be almost, it could even feel like pins and needles because you aren't sure necessarily what to do with all this energy that is you, that is like your essence. It is your person. It is who you are. And we have to remember to slow down, especially me. And we have to remember to breathe. And we have to remember to bring it down just a little bit. Take a deep breath, blow it out. When you take in a deep breath, you can picture yourself taking in knowledge. You can picture yourself taking in energy. It can be a food, almost an energetic food. And then when you blow out, you're getting rid of all the crap of the day. It's usually gray. It's usually, carbon monoxide. Like literally you can just picture it like that. And you're getting rid of the stuff that isn't serving you. You're getting rid of the stuff that's irritating you. You're coming into your energy, because what you don't want to do is go into a reading or an energy exchange where you're way up here, right? You don't want to go into a reading where you're tired or you're grieving, or you need to control your energy. I call this in my class energy maintenance. You are clearing your energy to get ready to sit with someone else. You are preparing your energy. You have an intention. You have good intentions, of course, right? It's always about good intentions, but it is about intentions. So you're going to breathe again. And do I have anyone that would like to come up and sit in my energy and tell me something about myself or Maton for the day? I'm going to sit here until somebody says, oh, absolutely, balls. That is a whole different live. I absolutely believe every bit of that. I honestly, I would say, yeah, because the other 20% didn't take it. Yeah, that's not what we're doing here today, but I agree with that comment so much that I had to point it out. That's really funny, balls. Maybe you're reading my energy, because I am on that train, 100%. So somebody has to want to come up. You guys are sitting here listening to this for 45 minutes. You've watched the first 2 episodes. Somebody has to have the balls. Come on, guys. The balls. How funny. Balls, you want to come up? But we're reading energy. Heather Marie, how about you? Even though I know you already do this. She said no balls here. I do understand this. When we're in a Zoom room, I absolutely just call on you guys, right? Yeah, Lana, you want to come up? That's funny, Matan. All right. I think I just invited you, Lana. There you are. Now, full disclosure, Lana has been through 2 classes. Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
I promise not to disclose anything. I shouldn't. So hold
Yeah,
on. I haven't done this for a while.
It's like getting on a bike, Lana.
Heather Marie, we'll have you next. Just for practice and shits and giggles. All right, Lana.
I keep seeing you with your horses.
Okay.
You're out in the barn with the horses.
Okay, but now
Which is
you
a
know,
normal thing for you.
that's exactly where I was. So here's what I also do when we're in class is Lana knows I have horses and she has brought that through before. So what am I about to tell Lana? I'm about to tell her
Go
that's
deeper.
not go deeper and make sure that you're tapping in energetically and not memory wise. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
I keep seeing you in a yellow t-shirt, and you always wear hats, but not the yellow you have on now,
Oh,
but like a bright yellow.
I was like, Lana, what are we doing here?
Yeah, no, it's a really bright yellow, and you're hopping in your Jeep.
Okay.
Where are we going though?
You tell me. Where did I go recently? That's a good psychic question. So you know I have a Jeep, so you know I'm hopping in it to go somewhere.
Well, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not far enough in you yet. Hold on. I'm not seeing out of your eyes.
Definitely have to word that a little bit differently.
Yeah, well, oh, sorry. I'm just thinking
I'm
that
teasing you. I'm teasing you.
I'm not
Keep going.
seeing through your eyes yet. I'm still seeing through mine.
So one of the things that you'll also learn in my classes is that we have first person psychic ability, we have remote viewing, right, Morgan? And then we have people that sit on the outside of the energy. Lana is very much a first person. So for example, when we did animal communication, Lana actually became the horse. Now, she also then rode the horse. So she went from being the horse to riding the horse. So she went back and forth. So honestly, and Lana and I have had this conversation, if she was practicing more, these are really stellar skills, is to be the person that you're trying to read or to be the animal that you're trying to read. Keep going.
So I see you driving out in the country with like a lot of red rock, and you're just singing along. It's just like you're out for a cruise.
Okay, so about 3 days ago, give or take, I was out by the Calhan paint mines with my windows rolled down and the radio blaring, just singing along. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you have no purpose, just you wanted to go
Yeah.
do something. Cool. Were
There
you
you go.
wearing your bright yellow t-shirt?
No, it's actually orange. It is incredibly. It is very very orange with camo bottoms. But
Okay.
you were right about the brightness, right? So you got the color wrong, but yes. So that did happen. That was about 3 days ago, give or take. Now, if you and I were in class, I would ask. We're not going to do it right now, just because I want to bring up Morgan because she said she's willing to try.
Mhm.
If we were in class, I would ask Lana, and so what? Right? And so what? what would be the point of that particular memory coming up? What would be the point of the conversation psychically or energetically that we're having? So we're not going to go that deep today, though. So I appreciate you, Lana.
But it made you happy. That's what came
Yeah.
through. Just
Yeah.
a total, like, I am so happy. I'm just sitting in my Jeep driving, clearing my head, and I'm just thoroughly happy.
I think sometimes people it's kind of like riding the motorcycle. This is when your brain shuts down. This is when you allow your brain to shut down. This is how you allow your brain to shut down. So I don't know if it's giddy happy as much as it wasn't everything else. Does that make sense?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So kind of feel that difference, because I wouldn't say that I was just giddy happy. I would say that I was
Calm happy.
Yeah. Cool?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Morgan. Oh, you know what? Did Heather, do you want to come up? I don't think we ever validated whether you wanted to come up. All right, Morgan, I'm about to invite you. And you don't have to get something super big. She's probably coming up and can't hear me right now. There we go. I'll tell her again.
Hello.
Hey, Morgan.
Hi.
So when you're first starting out, don't expect anything big. You don't need big things, right? You just need some little hits to build on.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if you've done this. I don't think you've been in one of my classes, so I'm not sure. Have you done this before, or is this like brand new and you're just watching my Saturdays?
I mean, this is like brand new. So I've been watching your Saturdays, but I've also been doing like the sitting in the power meditation on my own.
Nice.
And just like, I don't know, trying to ground myself and connect. So I haven't really got anything huge.
That's okay. Literally, you have to start somewhere, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
super nervous, but that's okay.
No, you know what? Only billions of people can see you. It's only
Only billions. It's all right. It's okay.
I mean, there's 27 people in the room. We got this. This.
Okay. So I'm trying to like get past my anxious energy to like.
We want to take a deep breath. Then we do just want to center ourselves, right? So, and it always feels silly to do this when people can see you, but take a deep breath and blow it out. And take a deep breath and blow it out. So in class, this is called the pattern interrupt, where you interrupt your own anxiety by purposely telling yourself, I will calm down. I will bring it down. I will control my heartbeat. I will control my anxiousness, because I am in charge of my anxiousness. My anxiousness is not in charge of me. Okay?
Okay. For some reason, I don't know why, but I can kind of see you with like it feels like so I have boys, like like kids.
Okay.
I feel like they're older than my kids because mine are really young, but younger than me because I'm like in my 30s.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I just kind of see you with him. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel an energy around you that is like a male, and I don't know how to place that, but does that make sense?
Okay, yes. So first of all, and you'll get used to this, and if we were sitting in class, I would tell you that I don't want all those disclaimers, okay?
Okay.
So and I always sound more harsh than I am. So in your journal, you're going to write down, I feel a younger male energy around MaryAnna. And you're going to leave it at that. You're either right or you're wrong. Okay? Right?
Okay.
So do you know I have a son?
I didn't. I think I knew you had kids, but I didn't know what they are.
So yes, he and I spent time together, I think 2 days ago.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And so, but what you also may be feeling, because you said sitting next to me very specifically.
Yes.
We went to the movies together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Sitting next to me very specifically. Now, I would challenge you, if we were in class again, that you may have seen me talk about my son before, So is this something that you are getting psychically, or is this memory? Kind of like I was talking with Lana, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I would like you to sit and mold again, melt with me, melt, mold, however you want to picture our energies going, right? Your energy and my energy right now. Let's feel something else. What else? Do you see, feel, hear, taste, know?
Okay, hold on.
Don't question yourself. Whatever came to your mind first was probably exactly the correct answer. And it doesn't matter what it is. You can say anything.
Okay, hold on. I don't really understand it,
Okay?
but I don't and I it's hard. I don't, like you said, when you're learning it doesn't always make sense. I'm just picturing like like citrusy fruit. I don't know. For me that it reminds me of summer, so I don't really
Okay?
know. I
All
don't
right.
really
So you're
know.
giving me, no, it's okay. Because this is why people learn. You're giving me a lot of disclaimers right now. So you're seeing or tasting citrusy fruit. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. You tell that little kid to get. No, I'm just kidding. Get lost. We're working. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding. So one of the things that maybe some people know this about me, and now more people will know this about me. I eat the shit out of oranges. I cut them up into
That's
slices.
exactly what popped into my head was an orange.
There you go. So you should have said it. Make sure you journal these 2 hits, okay?
Okay.
These
Okay.
are hits. These are hits. There's no way for you to know that my son and I were sitting next to each other you know what I'm saying, a few days ago. And there's no way for you to know that I am an avid, like when summer comes around, and you also said summer, when summer comes around, I am buying bags of oranges, okay? I cut them up into slices, and I just like, I'm like a little kid with orange slices. It's ridiculous. Now, if we were in Zoom in class, there's actually even more to that, but I don't necessarily want to put all my stuff on here, because then someone could easily come in for class and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I just said that on TikTok, right?
And I feel better about that one because, like I said, I knew you had kids, but I couldn't remember if I knew, like, if they were a boy. But I had no idea why an orange popped into my brain.
I love it. I love oranges. Like I fucking love them. Like there's literally stories around oranges for me. So, but I'll keep those under wraps, because you may see more. Right? Once you get off of here, also, stuff will keep coming to you. You can jot it down in your journal. You can always DM me and I'll yes or no you, just to tell you if they're hits. But a lot of times after we get done with a reading, either the spirit is still talking to us, even if we've closed down. Sometimes, spirit doesn't always listen, or information will still come to you. But I mean, Morgan, well done.
Thank you. I didn't think I would get anything, to be honest with you.
I fucking love it. I did this one time with somebody. I was doing a psychic reading for somebody. It's down in Pueblo, actually, at an in-person psychic fair. And that gal was like, there's no way I could ever do this. And she just kept saying that. I was like, you know what? Stop. And we went through what we just did. And I said, I want you to give me something. And she said, back then for that day, she goes, I just keep seeing red. But like I pick it up and then I put it down, and then I pick it up and I put it down, something along those lines. I'm probably not getting the words exactly right. And then I looked at her and I said, would you like to know what that was? And she said, yeah. And I said, I couldn't decide if I should wear the shirt I'm wearing this morning or this red shirt. And I kept picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down. And so it can be that simple when you're starting. It could just be the barest of hints, the barest of information. And then you build on those little hits and you start getting more confident. And then you start getting really confident. And some people will get too confident and they'll be like, oh, I know it's right and you're wrong because I know I'm good at this. And you're like, bitch, it's my life. So we don't want to get there. We don't want to get too confident where we think everyone is wrong but us. But this is how we build these little bitty hits: a citrus, orange, summer fruit, or fruit, citrus, whatever it is. Those are hits, especially for me, because I'm like, and there was another example for that girl, but I'm going to keep that to myself because someone else might get it, right?
Right. Well, thank you for letting me try.
Absolutely. I think you did really well. I think you did really well. So now you'll just practice taking out the disclaimers, right? I don't know why. I don't know what it means. Of course you don't, because you're learning, because you're tapping in just a little bit. So you're not meant to give me a full story right now. You're meant to give me bits and pieces. And that's exactly where you start.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll let somebody else come up and try
Absolutely.
themselves. Thank
All
you.
right.
Morgan,
Bye-bye.
Morgan, you need to change your skincare.
Oh,
One of your products is expired and it's messing with your skin.
Morgan, put in the comments if you understand that. I don't know if she could hear you as she's going out.
It feels like
Oh,
like a
she said yes, I
foundation.
do. She said yes, I do.
That's so
All
good.
right.
Oh, that popped up. Okay, please do that, sweetheart. You're gonna get like a rat. Like you're gonna have a breakout. It's not good for your skin. It's gonna be like an effect, like a burn effect. So look into that.
All right, we're inviting Amy up. Amy, come on up.
Yeah, because of the skin thing, Morgan. Because they're interacting.
Okay, let's see if Amy comes up, and then we'll do Heather. I keep forgetting poor Heather. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you?
I am sick as a dog, so I'm gonna
Oh,
try not to
no.
cough. Yeah.
Well,
I
no.
was typing in the chat because I can't talk very long without coughing.
Okay, so what you said is, let's see. You said, let me read it for her. Aw. Everybody send her some energy. Everybody send her some vibes.
Thank you.
So you said I was a tomboy. So when you felt that, what can I ask what you saw, felt, or I guess I don't know if you could taste it, but how exactly did you come to the term tomboy? Because I don't remember. Have you been in my room for a while?
No, I just started watching I went to YouTube and watched the last 2 weeks.
Okay. All right.
I did message you about him because I couldn't find him on YouTube.
Okay. So, but I guess my point was you don't know much about me.
No, nothing.
So what made you think tomboy?
I just got a picture of you as a child with just dirty, dusty jeans. Just, you were not a princess. You definitely, you definitely played outside and got dirty. And I felt like you were almost a daredevilish. Like you got in trouble just trying things. And then I felt like something big, like that could hurt you, fell on you at some point.
So all of that is accurate.
Oh,
Incredibly accurate. So I was always dirty. I had to be kind of talked into a shower, if you will, or a bath, if you will. I was very much always climbing tree. I was very much a tomboy. I don't want to give too many visuals because then somebody else somebody else may get them. You said accident prone. Could not. I'm still am. Knock on wood, and very, very much accident prone. I'm really trying to think of the fell on me, because I was so accident prone. I'm trying to think of something specific that would have fell on me, and the only thing that is coming to mind is when you try to like climb. When you're younger and you try to climb bookcases, or you try to climb
yes.
something and it comes like this. I have a distinct memory of that. Go ahead.
What popped into my head was I was climbing on a railing that wasn't attached to anything, like a wrought iron, and it fell on me. And I felt like you had been in the same situation, that something came down on you that wasn't attached.
Very much. Very much. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The way that you just described how you got the information, I want everyone to pay attention to right now. She said, I got a visual of something that happened to me as a kid, and I felt like it happened to you too. That is how energy interacts with us. That is how spirit interacts with us. It's not the only way. But what happens is you think, oh, this is my memory, and then you don't say it. But that is legitimately how my energy was interacting with her energy in order to give her a shared memory. It happened to her. It happened to me. Well done, Amy.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'm trying to figure, I mean, I took classes with Matan and Stacy, but
Okay.
I'm still in the process of believing myself.
Yes.
So I definitely am getting to a point where I just say it. If it's wrong, it's
Absolutely.
wrong. If it's not, wonderful. You know,
Journal.
I need to. I need
Journal.
to.
Again, it doesn't have to be paragraphs. Today I was in live with Matan and MaryAnna. I said, tomboy, accident prone, something fell on her. Here's how I got it. It was a hit. Bam. That's all you need to really write, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
All right. I hope you feel better. I'm going to let you hop back down.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
All right. Sorry, Matan, I'm not necessarily letting you talk right now. I'm just trying to
Oh,
get...
I don't need to talk. I'm good. I'm chilling.
He's like, hey, Heather.
Hey,
Now you do this, don't you? Don't you already do this?
I don't do a lot of the psychism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you learned to be a medium without doing psychism first?
Yeah, yeah, I would say
That's a
so.
lie.
Right,
That's a lie.
Matan?
That's a lie. That's an
No?
absolute lie. That's an
Is it a
absolute
lie?
lie. We went through psychism. We went through energy. We went through all of it. She's just trying to
Okay.
ignore the fact that she doesn't like to do psychism because she likes to do mediumship more. That's all it is.
Okay.
Okay,
So, or maybe Heather, you're just not necessarily individualizing it. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
she
not
blends it
aware of
all.
when it's medium, when it's
Yeah.
She
psychism.
blends
Yeah.
it. She does do that. Yeah. That's
Which,
true.
which, of course, that's something you, in my opinion, you will want to work on because once you're one big ball of energy and you don't necessarily, so what happens is, like, in my opinion, you start out like, okay, I'm doing psychic stuff. Now I'm doing mediumship stuff, and now I'm doing animal communication. And then what happens is, in my opinion, you just start going down one highway and you take off ramps, and then you just start getting information from different off ramps, right? Once you get this information from the different off ramps, you can start individualizing it. I don't think that's a word. You know what I mean? You can start picking it apart and saying, oh, this came from an animal. Oh, this came from 3 days ago. Oh, this is a shared memory from spirit. And then once you really get into it and you're one big ball of energy reader, you can legitimately start putting the story to it and you can really just start digging in. So what do you have for me?
Well, I was seeing you riding a motorcycle or some kind of bike with a bandana, and it looked like you were going through a canyon, some type of canyon.
Okay. Okay.
And then I got cleaning out a room, boxes, wearing a white ball cap, just moving, either filling or emptying boxes.
Okay.
Then I seen writing a letter or a story. I don't know how long. It was 1 page is all I was seeing. And it was some kind of a release of something.
Okay. You want feedback?
No, no. Describe the motorcycle.
Describe the
Nice.
motorcycle. I wasn't. Um, all I'm seeing is a black bike, and it's got like a bright orange. It kind of looks like flames. With hard bags on it.
Okay. All right. Hold on. And then you said I was going through a canyon
Yeah,
and I had a bandana.
a
Okay.
bandana. Yes.
And then the next one was, what was the next one?
Cleaning out a room, or you were fixing up a room, but there was boxes and things were going in and out of the boxes.
Got it. And then the next one was,
Writing a letter or a story.
oh, you said it was a release.
Yeah, a
Give me
release.
an emotion when around the letter writing.
It felt like that's what it felt like. It was a release of something, like it was able to finally come out onto this page, and
it was just relief after that.
Good. That's good.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. So now, one of the things that I taught Maton was to challenge you when you're not going deep enough. And so, for anyone watching, that's what he's doing. He's not trying to be rude to her. He's not trying to like call her out. What he's trying to do is say there's more information available to you, and I would like for you to try to get more information instead of like surface level, because she's above a very true beginner, right? So she's
And yes, and Maton's my mentor, so he's allowed.
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm allowed to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, you are
All
allowed.
right. I have 2 bikes. One is a black bike, and it does have hard sides, and one is a denim red Harley. Okay. So when you said orange flames, I call her red.
Okay.
And she also has hard bags. The Canyon, I went on a motorcycle retreat one time, and well, not I've been on my bike several places, but riding through tunnels, I love, right? So when tunnels are coming up, I'm like, woo, and then I honk my horn because I'm a fucking nerd. All right, cleaning out a room. So, unbeknownst to anybody, nobody would know this, I have started purging my house, and I have boxes, and I have those things that you get from Walmart, those little plastic containers, and I'm trying to get rid of shit and take it to the Goodwill, and I'm in my room, and that's where you saw me, was in my room, and I was just doing that the last few days.
Love that.
And then writing release, you said it was 1 page, and that's when I started to laugh, but you said it's like a release. I write revenge fiction.
Oh gosh.
And I'm very shortly into a new idea, because of course I have new ideas before I finish all my old ideas, because I'm so painfully fucking ADHD. So in that revenge fiction, of course, people gotta die. So it's a lot of fun, right? It's a lot of fun. There you go. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much. Any questions while I have you up here, and then we'll see if anyone else wants to do it, and if no one else does, we'll probably close down.
When you were cleaning the room, would you have happened to have on a white ball cap or some kind of ball cap?
No, I did have on a ball cap. It wasn't white though.
Okay.
I don't think I own any white ball caps, but I own a shit ton of ball caps.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one I was wearing. Yeah, it could have. Oh, I have one that is black and white, and it's a Vans. It's a Vans logo, and the front of it is white, and it has a Vans logo on it.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I was seeing just the front of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's black and white. It's a trucker hat. My son said it looks like I'm a wannabe hipster.
That's funny.
I know, it was funny. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Anybody else want to come up and give it a try?
Now, if we were really pushing her in class, I would have asked her to tap back into that room that you're in with the bald cap, or not, why did I say bald cap? Why did I say that? That was weird. With the cap on, and I would ask her to then tap into my energy and try to find the connection between that room and my energy.
What would you come up with?
Because that energy, that room that she's talking about that you were cleaning out, is the room that you once would do classes in, that I would sit in.
Yes.
And that's how you
nicely
continue.
done. Yes.
And
yes,
that's how you
yes.
continue the loop.
Yes, I love that. Yes. Absolutely. I really taught you well. Look at me. I'm teasing everyone. For anybody out there, I'm not trying to take credit for his ability to teach. How cool. Yes, bald cap. Yes, Morgan, please do DM me that. Is there anyone out? Yeah, Care Bear. I love my fiction. I'll tell you right now. Is there anybody else that would like to come up and give it a shot before we shut down for the night? Or day, or I don't even know. It's 1:16, so we've been on here for a little while. Anybody else?
Another thing you could have done is I could have pulled Heather up and asked her to tap into the imagery that Amy, my other student, got, and have her tap into the energy of the tomboy experience.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
another way that people talk about linking, which we can talk about that in another live.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really
Because
good.
people don't talk about, I think people talk about linking in regards to mediumship reading together, but people don't realize you also can link and what I call kind of timeline jump through psychic and psychism also. Because when I said, oh, connect, me to that room, well, that's going back previous energy and connecting it to now because she's currently reading about what you did in the current moment. And that's why I always believe, again, the bigger topic, this is why I always believe that timelines and experiences are circular rather than distinctive, because you can jump between those psychic energy prints all the time.
Absolutely. And that is something we'll there's a few more Saturdays to go, but he's also kind of referring to as going to a specific time and place in history, right? A specific time and place in someone's energy. So we can talk to our younger selves. I can talk to his younger self. I could talk to his higher self. I could talk to his future self. And so being able to kind of jump time and space is a lot of remote viewing. It's a lot of first person psychism, or just a combination of whatever works for you. A lot of people like to put labels on all of this stuff. Oh, I did this, or I can do this, or I can do that. Is it right? Is it evidential? Does it resonate? Those should be, whether you're doing animal communication, psychism, or mediumship, is it evidential? Does it resonate? Is it correct? So for example, the orange, the citrus thing. I don't think I've talked about that for years. So I know that
No, you haven't. I haven't heard that since we were in class together.
Yeah. Because it's a thing for me. Oranges are a thing for me. So the fact that she picked it up, she's going to technically every time you tap into someone's energy, but especially when you go to the past, like the woman that did the tomboy thing, when you go to the past, technically you're remote viewing. Technically you're time traveling, if you will. Technically you are getting a shared memory from a different time and place. And I think that's overlooked in a lot of the psychic teachings. I think that people just kind of scoot over the top of that and they don't go real deep. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think this has been a really good hour and a half. So I think we're gonna call it a day.
Do you want me to toot your horn a little bit before we go, or no, or save it till next
Yeah.
week? Okay, so another thing that I really appreciated about MaryAnna's classes was because she did talk about and she did focus the idea of energy reading rather than we're doing a psychic class, a mediumship class, a animal communication. And because of that, it helped me string through multiple modalities of spiritualism. For example, after her class, the next thing I did was I wanted to learn about Reiki. Not because I was going to be, some shamalama Reiki person, that was not it. But I wanted to understand why and how the energy worked within the body. So, for example, if I was to then use remote viewing and remote view her experience as a tomboy when the thing fell on her, I could feel, wow, I really felt that the iron fence or whatever she said, I could feel the energy that not only did your emotions, you were scared, but also you felt like I could feel your heart palpitation, but I could feel the energy in your stomach start to move and turn and feel knotted. So the ability to understand energy helps you build a stronger narrative, imagery, whatever term you want to use, that you can use regardless in any kind of dynamic of a reading. So instead of just being like, oh, yep, you were put in danger as a kid. Well, what was the emotion behind it? What was this? That psychic imprint makes it more, I don't want to say believable, but it makes it more palpable to the sitter. And that's why it's so important that you speak in the idea of energy in your development rather than say, I'm just going to do this and say, I'm just going to do psychic and it's just going to look like this.
I fucking love that, first of all. But also, when you just talked about my stomach like that, why do you think that was?
Well, I feel like how it feels to me is that you feel like you had an oh shit moment and you knew that this is you had like a kind of a moment where you saw it coming, but it wasn't fast enough for you to get out of the way. So you felt like it was going to hit that part of your body. So you flinched in fear.
One more tiny piece of information there that you're completely right, number one, but there's one more tiny piece of information.
Why do I keep feeling guilt?
That's it.
You
I was
felt guilt.
I was gonna get in trouble because I always got in trouble for fucking around.
Yeah. I keep hearing fuck around and find out.
Yep. So guilt very much would often make my tummy fucked up for days, for days. Yeah, no, I love that. And I forgot that you went to learn Reiki. And that's also, I have tuning forks, and there's also the emotion code. Honestly, once you start looking into things that interest you about this area, you can tie them into your own abilities in so many different ways. Like understanding the emotion code is where you might be blocked, or it might be, I can't think of all the emotion code shit right now. I would not take the emotion code class personally. I did take it. I thought it was stupid. They literally just regurgitated the book.
Correct.
Like and it was like $570 or something. And I couldn't go backwards. Like it had an expiration date. And you know me, I need shit that I can go back to a year from now.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I wouldn't take the class, but I would read the book. I do think the book is worth it, and I love that point. Any other points?
Nope, that's all I had.
Yes, Heather. So Heather said, so like when she fell, she was more scared of being in trouble. Yes. I probably absolutely wasn't even thinking about getting hurt. Honestly, I was like, fuck, now I'm in trouble again. Because I was always constantly getting in trouble. I mean, honestly, even though I got in trouble for existing. What's that? No, legitimately, if it rained that day, why is it fucking raining? I would run to my room. Oh my God, it's my fault it's raining, Oh. Heather said I saw her chasing these frogs and little reptiles. So I would catch, they're called bluebellies in California. And I would catch these little lizards, and then you turn them over and you pet their stomach, and they basically get like, they don't move. I don't know what that's called, but you pet their little blue bellies. That's what those were called. And then I would chase frogs, and then I would also catch tadpoles, and then I would try to keep them and clean out their water until they turned into frogs. So Heather, well done. Well done. That's what we're talking about, you guys. Any books you recommend I read before we meet again? What a great question. Honestly, at this point, I do think that you can confuse yourself. I think that I would rewatch 1, 2, and then I'll try and load this by tonight. Hey, Jill. And I think I would stay in that space, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think that, because the books that are coming to my mind are like memoiric books, actually. There's a person called Sonia Coquette. Chouettete, Sonia, Sonia. And she talks about what it felt like to become psychic or understand being psychic and kind of her life. It's more like a memoir, though. I don't know why that book specifically. Oh, I have a disclaimer. I think that book is coming up because it's more about getting to know yourself at the moment versus do this, do this, do this. I want you to be less formula, and a lot of the books that talk about being psychic are very formulaic. I want you to learn about yourself. I want you to learn what works for yourself. I want you to journal. I want you to put down your hits. So maybe the memoir is coming up because it's more anecdotal, right? It's more visual. It's more like, ooh, that's cool. But she has at least 4 books out, and I've always enjoyed her books. All right, you guys. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Maton, for joining me again. I will see everyone next Saturday. Excuse me, the tarot cards are out. I am opening up my readings again. They will be on Fridays. If you need a reading that's not on a Friday, text me. We will work something out. Were you about to say something, Maton?
Nope, all good. I do want to do, hopefully when my cards arrive, we can show the differentials of experience between into tarot interpretation
I love it.
with the
I
same
love
cards.
that. Yeah. I might spend a little extra to get you yours faster.
I'll meet you halfway on that amount.
Okay. All right. I love it. Very cool. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye, y'all.